Today we will have a look at the flat earther claiming that 24 Arctic sun is a reality on the level Earth. Let's start. Synthetic warrior is the flirt with the bold claims about Antarctic sun.
Namaste, everybody. Coming in live from Louisiana, we have Z here with us today, and today we're going to be talking about the reality of the 24-hour Antarctic sun confirmed.
Confirmed, this will be really interesting.
You know, there is a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction that's happening with the flat Earth community, so-called community. We'll put that in quotes.
And already with that statement, it's quite clear that the 24-hour trip or the trip to Antarctica was devastating for flat Earth already before the trip have been done.
And a lot of people are experiencing something that we call cognitive dissonance. What do you think about that?
So, what is he talking about? Here we have on the screen the medical definition of that. To simplify it, it's when a person's beliefs and behavior don't match up. So what is he talking about? Of course, it's Jaren and Witsit.
Dude, you said it, man. I mean, I can't think of a better term. Maybe cope would be a more like modern colloquial way to put it. Copium, man, smoking the copium, and we're going to get into it certainly. But hey, Notch, somebody has to do it, man. Somebody has to come on and kind of just say it like it is. Help people get past their feelings, their hopes, their dreams, their postulations, their concepts, their theories, and get down the real world, bullet meets the bone reality, man.
So he thinks that he is the one holding the truth. He will teach us what's real.
Physics, practical demonstration, demonstrable reality.
So will he present how the 24-hour sun on Antarctica would work on a flat Earth and base it on some kind of science?
And people who know, my name is Zetetic Warrior. I took that name for a reason. Because to be Zetetic is to proceed through inquiry. It's basically asking questions. Some people could look at it as almost like Socratic in nature. The idea that one should be consistently questioning their world, their reality, challenging their preconceptions, and endeavoring to falsify their belief systems.
This one is a science denier and he don't understand how science works. A scientific theory will be questioned by other scientists. They are always looking on other explanations of things. Look at Newton and Einstein, for instance. Science evolves all the time.
This is what we're here to talk about, the reality of the 24-hour sun. And, people will say, well, it's not possible, or maybe there's a simulation sun or simulated sun down there or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that they have known about it for some time. But the question that I have is that why didn't the flat earthers know about it? Because we perhaps had some assumptions about how the celestial was working, and then we kind of stuck to that idea that there is a circling sun, right? And then of course with the circling suns, it has to do some weird gymnastics to be able to go down to Antarctica. And also on top of that, I don't even know if the AE map is 100% accurate though either. So I'm not going to make any positive claims about the fact that the AE map is absolutely correct. I mean, I adhere to it. It seems to be okay, but I don't know 100%. So that's something that we can talk about as well.
So now they can't explain the sun, and they don't have a working map. But still, they think they can prove that we don't live on a globe.
Well, the operative term that you mentioned there was positive claims. For one to make a positive claim about anything, regarding any topic, one should be able to substantiate the claim, all right? Which basically means to prove it through evidence, objective evidence, evidence that could be validated, things that could be actually measured, things that could be repeated, whether it's through scientific experimentation or mere observation, okay?
If we look once more on the title of this video, 24-hour Arctic sun is a reality on the level Earth. So, can he present any evidence, any observation or any science behind that claim? Let's continue.
For anyone who's been in this community for any degree of time, you understand that there has been a consistent narrative, a mantra almost, of no 24-hour Antarctic sun. We know now, with certainty, that the 24-hour Antarctic sun exists in their summertime. That's my feeling.
So, what have changed? What have proven that the 24-hour sun is real? This is damage control. Two well-known flat earthers have agreed to go down to Antarctica in December, and that's the reason why this fool and many others have changed their mind.
Put it this way, Notch, I wouldn't bet against it. I wouldn't bet my life against it, put it that way, at this point. Now, it begs the question, as you brought up a few minutes ago, why? Why is this such a bombshell to the flat earth community? And there's really only one answer. It's because the prominent flat earth community gatekeepers, think about them what you want, have been promoting an idea, a conception, a theory, and a model that contraindicates the possibility of the 24-hour sun. So in service to their model, in service to their agenda and their narrative, they have consistently rejected the information presented to them that was contrary to their model. We have evidence of this now. We have multiple content creators that have come to us and they've provided receipts who tell us that since 2017, they have been informing the prominent FE gatekeeper content creators of celestial data that went against their, begging the question, reified model.
So he confirms that they have no map, they have no model, they have no explanations about how a flat earth works. Or will he present something?
You can go there, guys. Austin and Jaron and Lisbeth are going there. You can too. If you have $31,500, you yourself can go there and witness the 24-hour Antarctic sun, just like hundreds and thousands of people have for well over a century now. And we're going to get into the details more. Now, anybody after this stream that wants to continue smoking their copium, I'm looking at many creators at this point, you will have no legs to stand on. And I'm sure Nachiketa, will be very vigilant in holding you accountable for the things that you say. Because after this period, and certainly after December, you cannot be a flat earther and disregard the 24-hour Antarctic sun.
A funny thing about this is that in all the videos or live streams from this creator, he have stated things about the 24-hour sun, that it's not real and so on. And they have called out Jaren to be a shill and so on for going to Antarctica in December. But now he have changed his mind. And what have made him change his mind? Where are the evidence that the 24-hour sun is real on a flat Earth?
Regardless of the 24-hour sun, which we admit, we remain flat earthers, level earthers, because of demonstrated reality. I do not find these things to be mutually exclusive. Now, of course, the Globers are going to claim they are because it's convenient. Or people like Jaren, who's a Glober, who I shouldn't even point him out because he is a Glober. These people will say that this is a mutually exclusive idea. And that, of course, now the globe would be the reality. I simply disagree with that. That's it. I disagree with this false binary idea that a 24-hour sun invalidates a flat Earth and proves a globe model. Now, this is a difference of opinion, but what we cannot ignore anymore is the 24-hour Arctic sun. And it's embarrassing to the community.
Yes, it's embarrassing for the community, for the Flat Earth community, because your stand on this, you have agreed that you have no map, you have no explanation for the 24-hour sun on Antarctica, and you have no model.
So I just want to do a little bit of a recap and kind of, let everybody know how we arrived to where we have arrived.
Oh, at last, we will get the explanation how they explain the 24-hour sun on Antarctica on a flat Earth. Let's listen to this.
What Will Duffy has said, that he came to the realization that the point that both the globe earthers and the flat earthers seem to agree on is that the flat earthers, the prominent ones, the influencers, have been basically saying that there could not possibly be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Yes, that's correct. On the model that most flat earthers are showing, the AE map and so on, it is impossible on a flat Earth.
And the reason why they came to that conclusion is because of the circling sun, as we have already addressed. Now, the globe earthers have always said that there is 24-hour sun, so it becomes a mutually exclusive situation for the people who made the claim, and the people of the circling sun and the flat earth and the AE map, and then the people who are globe earthers, basically. So I think he did a fantastic observation of just really picking up on that, Will Duffy, and whether he is paid by somebody else or he is his own man is irrelevant to the point of what the final experiment is really about. Okay, so this is the reason why we have arrived to where we have arrived now. Now, you can argue, why did Jaren get chosen or Whitsitt was chosen, and they all have the stories about it. Dave Weiss was initially the one who was chosen to go. He refused, right? And then Eric Dubé is doing a little bit of a backtracking now, as we know. And then we don't really know what the positions of other so-called prominent flat earthers, but we know what Jaren's position is quite clearly, and we went through it, numerous times over here. We also went through what Witz's position is, which is that, he's not going to flip necessarily, but then he might be, kind of curious about how that's working. I'm not going to make a positive claim of how the celestial is going to be working.
Wait a moment, what did he just say? Let's listen to it once more.
I'm not going to make a positive claim of how the celestial is going to be working. I'm not going to make a positive claim of how the celestial is going to be working.
So they have no explanation about 24-hour sun on Antarctica in the Antarctic summer.
However, some people are going to say somebody in the chat was saying, well, that no, they did not admit there was a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. They admitted there was reports of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Let's address this, Notch, because there's people in the chat, and I want to do so with compassion, because fine, if you want to make myself and Nachiketa the fall guys for your emotional response, that's fine. Like the one person says, idiot Z, 24-hour midnight sun was never proved. Zetetics just accepted the rumor idea as possibility. Listen, I'm going to speak to you in compassion. I'm not going to take it personally, even though you called me an idiot. This is a fact at this point. Look, Notch is going to go into the evidence, all right?
Evidence for 24-hour sun on Antarctica, that one we already know. I want to hear the explanation how it works on a flat Earth.
We collected information from like the book.
Oh, flat earthers that reads other books than the Bible. That was a new one.
And you can say, well, the book is fake and this is backdated. They print it out later and they're just kind of preparing everybody for the 24-hour sun. And people will argue that, there hasn't ever been a legit video of the 24-hour sun. If they can fake space, they can fake Antarctica, et cetera. And I'm not going to disagree with those kind of ideas per se,
Because that is typical flat earth arguments. When they have no evidence, they are screaming CGI, fake, and so on.
But again, this word, the preponderance of evidence of people actually going to Antarctica and spent, like a season there. We have McMurdo camp that's 24 hours. So, and then the same sentiment could be like, well, there are people who work for NASA and they believe that space is real, right? But it's a slight little difference because people are actually being sent there and they live there. So if they're in a kind of a studio of some kind and a large amount of area is kind of, I don't know, controlled by some kind of an environmental thing, that has to be addressed as well, I guess, how that can be done and et cetera. But as far as I'm leaning it, like the sun calc data, and people have observational sun data, where they're living in southern part of Australia, southern part of Africa, southern part of South America. That is also extra bit of information, basically confirming that the sun calc is correct.
But none of this is new information. So flat earthers have been so stupid, so they haven't seen this evidence before Will Daffy did address this trip to Antarctica. Come on.
Which also means that the circling sun cannot possibly be. They are mutually exclusive. You cannot have both the circling sun and have the circling sun, traveling between Cancer and Capricorn. And in those areas, it should be seen rising in the northeast and setting at the northwest, when in fact they're seen rising in the southeast and setting in the southwest, right? So further you go south, it seems to be correct that the Antarctica, the 24 astral summer sun is there. Okay.
All this is because we live on a globe. They have still not presented any evidence at all that this would work on a flat Earth and how it would work.
So that's keeping, we have to keep that in mind. Another thing that I want to add before we continue is that the reason why we are doing this at all is that we are trying to prepare the people who are willing to listen for the possibility, the real possibility, that there is going to be a fallout after December. Okay.
It's already a fallout. If you listen to yourself accusing Jerem to be a glober, for instance, and it will be worth after December.
And this community is a little bit shook. There's a little bit of a divide. A lot of tension is going on. And we're addressing that, head on. We're not keeping that and shuffling that under the carpet. We're going to just deal with it as it's happening, right? We've been a big part of that, like talking to Will Duffy, talking to other people who is part of it. And then we understand more or less what their positions are. We got our ears out, and listening in to everybody we possibly can. The reason why we are doing this is because we are passionate about the truth, and we believe that it is important for people to come to some understanding of what might be happening. And it is a mystery, again, that I don't know what's happening up in the sky. Okay.
We're almost at 20 minutes, and this is from a 3-hour-long live stream. And they spend the whole time explaining that the 24-hour sun in Antarctica is real, but they have no explanations for how it would work on a flat Earth. And they agree they have no map, they have no model, and they have no explanations, but they know that they live on a flat Earth. This is an example of what will happen with the flat Earth after the trip to Antarctica in December. They are so damn stupid. This was a longer video than normal. Hope you liked it. I will be back after the weekend. Have a nice weekend. See you soon. Bye.